Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. We always like to take a look at what's really shaking things up. And today we're going to be diving into Ethereum
Ethereum, yeah.
and why it seems like all of a sudden everybody's got Ethereum on the brain.
Yeah, it seems like it's really having a moment.
Yeah. And specifically, we're looking at this massive wave of investment into things like ETFs. One that's caught our eye is the BlackRock iShares Ethereum Trust, or ETHA.
Right.
They just hit a pretty major milestone, holding over 1 million ETH,
Wow.
valued at $4 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot of digital cash flowing into Ethereum.
Yeah. So the question is, what's got everyone so excited all of a sudden?
Yeah. What is it about this moment in time that's got everyone piling in?
Right.
Well, I think one thing that really jumps out is just the sheer speed of these investments. Like we saw something like $2 billion flood into Ethereum ETFs in just 10 days.
10 days, $2 billion.
Yeah, and to put that in perspective, that's 8 times the total investment from the previous 4 months combined.
8 times.
Yeah, it's really like someone flipped a switch.
Wow. Yeah, that is a huge jump.
Yeah.
So is this just hype, or is there something more substantial driving this trend?
I definitely think it's more than just hype. A lot of really sharp people are pointing to Ethereum's potential in this thing called tokenization.
Tokenization.
Yeah. Now, I know that might sound kind of complicated, but think of it this way. You're basically turning real-world assets like a house, a painting, or even a patent into a digital token on a blockchain.
Oh, okay. So instead of having like a physical deed to your house, you would have a digital token that represents your ownership.
Exactly.
That's interesting. But why Ethereum specifically for this? I mean, there are other blockchains out there, right?
Right. That's a great question. And what sets Ethereum apart is its ability to handle these things called smart contracts. And smart contracts are essentially self-executing agreements that are written into code. So you can program a token to automatically transfer ownership when certain conditions are met. So it makes the whole process much more efficient and secure.
Oh, that makes sense. So Ethereum's not just a digital currency. It's like a whole platform for building these new types of digital assets.
Exactly.
And for automating these really complex transactions.
Yeah.
And you mentioned some experts are saying that this could be a really huge market.
Yeah. One senior strategist, Juan Leon, is predicting that tokenization on Ethereum could generate like $100 billion in annual fees.
100 billion.
Yeah.
With a B.
Yeah, and that would just completely transform the financial landscape as we know it.
That's mind-blowing. So what kinds of real-world assets are we talking about here? Like, are we really going to be buying fractions of Picassos as digital tokens?
I know it sounds futuristic, but that's exactly the kind of thing that we're talking about. Tokenization could open up these markets that were previously really hard to access for everyday investors. Like imagine buying a fraction of a Picasso, or investing in a promising startup's patent, or trading carbon credits with complete transparency, all through digital tokens on Ethereum. Like it could really democratize investing in a way that we haven't seen before.
Yeah. So it's not just about buying and selling cryptocurrency anymore. It's about reimagining how we interact with value in the real world.
Right.
Which is a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But how do these ETFs play into all this? You mentioned they're seeing a huge surge in investment.
Right. So ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are basically like baskets of assets that you can buy and sell on stock exchanges. So an Ethereum ETF would hold a bunch of ETH. And that allows investors to kind of gain exposure to Ethereum without directly buying and managing the cryptocurrency themselves.
Got it. So for someone who's not like super tech savvy,
Yeah.
an ETF is like a simpler way to invest in Ethereum.
Exactly.
Okay, that explains why we're seeing so much money flowing into them. But there's another piece to this puzzle too, right? Something about potential changes coming from the SEC.
Right. Yeah. The anticipation of some clear and positive regulations from the SEC is also driving this surge. Because right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about how cryptocurrencies are going to be regulated. That makes some investors a little bit hesitant to jump in. But if the SEC provides some clear guidelines that are favorable to the crypto industry, it could really boost investor confidence and attract even more institutional investors to Ethereum.
So if we connect all the dots, we've got Ethereum's potential in tokenization,
Yeah.
huge influx of investment through ETFs, and the possibility of positive regulatory changes coming down the line. It really does feel like things are lining up for some major shifts in the financial world.
Yeah.
So where does this leave us?
Well, I think that brings us to the big question. If Ethereum really unlocks the potential of tokenization, How will this actually reshape the financial landscape in the next few years?
Yeah.
Will we see more people investing in fractional ownership of assets? Will new markets emerge for things that we haven't even imagined yet? It's a really fascinating time to be watching this technology unfold.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for breaking it all down for us. I know I learned a lot, and I hope everyone listening did too. And for all of you listening out there, keep an eye on this space because it seems like things are just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until next time.
See ya.